Yeah, I'm finally playing a game now. I took like a little cleanse, but I decided this weekend, I think going into like Friday, I was like, you know what? I gotta stop slacking. First Descendants has made grinding easier, at least for my part, at least where I'm at in grinding. I need to get on this because I'm not gonna lie, Eugen has been in the works for about 2 weeks now, which is not gonna lie, too long to acquire a Descendant. Usually I think before I was averaging like, 1 day, 2 days for like per descendant. And it just slowed down a little bit too much. After the like patches and stuff like that came out about the boss's health being, lower than, it was before, not intercept boss levels at least. Yeah, I got Eugen. I still have Lepic sitting here. And currently, I'm trying to go for Kyle. Now, I only need 2 more parts for Kyle because, getting his 2 other parts was easy. I think what was it? I think I was going for Ajax or somebody. I think it was Jaber. But essentially, you had to do the same infiltration mission, and you get the same amorphous materials. So I needed them both, 54 and 55, for both of Kyle's parts. So I was like, you know what? Might as well, right? So I ended up getting both of them back to back. That was pretty simple enough. But now I'm working on Kyle, and I just need 2 of his parts. The code, and you know what? I don't even remember. I think I had it saved here. Yeah, I need his stabilizer and then his code. So that's what we're going to work on today. But man, let me tell you, there is also something I've been postponing on doing for a while now. My coworker, we usually, talk to each other about like movies and stuff like that, and like just different types of media, because we just be bored when we like work. One of the things that we were talking about, I think we were like going down south in New Jersey, and all of a sudden we just started talking about like scary movies. One of the like things that we were talking about scary movies is obviously like the Conjuring movies, Annabelle, just the mainstream ones, right? So my coworker, I feel like he's a little bit more open to watching different types of movies that aren't really like main blockbuster headliners. So he put me onto this movie called The Hereditary. I have it right here. I wanted it to get on Blu-ray because, obviously I could just always bootleg it, allegedly. I decided, you know what, I want to be able to keep physical media like 10, 15 years down the line if I ever have a child or something like that. Most likely they're going to end up like me. I got strong-ass genes in my family, but I feel like they're going to like scary movies just as much as me. So I was like, you know what, let's start getting physical media. I feel like people should do that. I think physical media should still be a thing. Nowadays, especially with all these like streaming sources like upping their prices, like having these like exclusivity deals and making it so you can't profile share. It's weird stuff. I got the movie. I wanted to watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize how fucking scary this shit is. I'm gonna spoil some of the parts for you because it's honestly ridiculous. It starts off, showing off that they're in a funeral for this chick's mom, which is basically the grandma. And okay, nothing crazy, right? Like, I think early on in the movie, I think like the first like 10, 15 minutes, it shows the scene where the mom goes into the, I think, grandma's like belongings, like just her like boxes of stuff, right? Just, reminisce and stuff like that. She grieves, and I'm guessing that's her coping method. While she's actually like looking through it, she's like, you know what? I should probably stop looking through this. It's just going to make me feel more sadder. So she puts the stuff down, puts it away, and then she just leaves the room. But she takes one more glance into the room, just to be like, yeah, this is closure for me. When she does that, she flicks the light, she stops, and then she looks back into the room. And then she just stares. And I'm like, okay, well, what's going on now? So when they pan the camera back into the room, the dead grandma is standing in the corner, like in the shadow. Like, I don't know how to like put it specifically, but there's like a certain lighting there is to movies where like it's super dark. Like, you can barely tell what the hell is in that corner, but you could tell exactly that was the grandma. And the only thing that was light enough to see was like her body shape and like 30% of her face. It was, bro, it was dark, and it was honestly creepy as fuck, for the beginning of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this movie is gonna be scary from the beginning and the end. It's more like, no, it's scary. I'll be honest, it's scary, but it's a lot of like build up with psychological shit. It's insane. After that, a lot of downtime with the horror, and that's fine. I think like after that, 20 more minutes after that, You start following the daughter a lot more, which is obviously the grandchild. She seems a little off. I won't lie. She seems a little off. I don't know if it's like a touch of the tism. Maybe she has some like mental illness or whatever. But it's clear that there is something about her that doesn't make her normal, along with other kids. We watch her. We see her like character traits start showing up more and more. Like she has like this clicking tick that she does. That's part of her character. Like we know if we hear clicking, that's her. This is going to make sense in the future. Later on, the older son asked the mom if he could go to a party. Okay, cool. You want to go to a party, whatever. So she's like, are you going to bring your sister? And he was like, does she want to come? He really doesn't want to bring her, but, he kind of has to, at that point. Fast forward, he brings the sister to the party, and he's obviously just trying to hit it off with the girl. So he's like, yo, just, like, go somewhere, distract yourself. Oh, look at that. There's cake. You can have cake. Now, one of the more important, like, character traits that they mentioned earlier in the movie is that she's allergic to nuts. Now, the first scene that you, like, witness when the sister and the brother walk into the party is that there's a group of girls like baking the cake, and one of the girls is cutting up walnuts. Now I didn't catch this the first time. My girlfriend actually had to tell me. She eats the cake while he's like messing around and just smoking weed or something like that. All right, whatever. So then while he's hitting it up with the girl, it starts like panning to his sister a lot, and it's basically showing her starting to get her allergic reactions, and it goes a very long time without him like noticing. So finally, when she's like literally borderline dying, she goes and she's like, yo, I think I have like an allergic reaction, my throat is closing. He's like, oh snap. So they quickly get in the car. Keep him, this is gonna be very dark. So they get in the car and they're going to the hospital. And bro, when I tell you, it's definitely a scene. I don't want to spoil it. I feel like this is the most insane part of the movie. Just know the car scene is the car scene. I literally, quite literally cannot explain this scene because it is that crazy. Yikes. Just know it gets crazy. But, fast forward into the movie, like to the more juicy parts, it gets to the point where the mother, she wants to communicate with her dead family member. She meets up with this lady at some, I guess you could say like grieving, like meeting. It's like a meeting where like a bunch of random people get together and they just talk about and vent about like things that have been going on in their lives and stuff like that. It's kind of like a drug intervention, kind of like that. So during this like intervention, the lady, like goes up to her and stuff like that. And she's like, hey, sorry to chase you down, just to let you know, like we're here for you and stuff like that. It doesn't really, hit me quick enough that this lady never even attended the intervention. Cause like when they met, they were outside. So she just straight up walked up to like the main mom lady. And she was like, hey, like, we're here for you. If you need someone to grieve with, we're here. So she ends up, linking up with this chick. They become friends because they're grieving with each other. Because she's like, oh, yeah, my son died. My grandchild died. Blah, blah, blah. And it leads up to the point where that lady is like, listen here. I met up with this seance woman. She found out a way that we could talk to our family members even when they're dead. And she convinced her to show up to one of these like open seances. And it was crazy because when she talked about the seance thing, she mentioned like a medium, like a spiritual medium, like a professional, somebody who, does that stuff. When she told her to do it herself, because when she showed her like just them two, it kind of freaked the fuck out of the main character lady. I'm not gonna lie. That would have scared the shit out of me too. Shit, she better than me. I would have left at the first instance because when they went to that scene, it was pitch black. The only light source in that whole scene was a candle. I promise you, I thought something was going to pop out. I'm not going to lie. She gave her a piece of paper that had obviously stereotypical Latin writing for like spiritual summonings and stuff like that. And in my mind, I'm like, this is some white people shit. Like, immediately, I clocked. I was like, yeah, this is some white people shit. Like, you would never see a person of color ever doing this. She's a little hesitant about it. She kind of, like, doesn't say anything. But then she has this, like, dream of her, like, talking to her son and stuff like that. And then, apparently, it's kind of like her wake-up calling, which is weird because in that dream she tries to kill herself and her son with paint thinner in her match. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why she used the dream that she was trying to kill her son in as a way to realize, okay, maybe this is how I should reach this dead family member. You know, in this fucking scene, she uses it to summon that family member. Obviously, it doesn't go how it's planned because the person that she's trying to summon, you know, possesses her. It gets even fucking freakier. We end up seeing that it's not just her, like, dead family member that she's conjured. She's actually conjured up some type of, like, demon. Apparently, it's one of the 8 kings of hell named Paimon or whatever it is. Don't get it mistaken with Paimon from Genshin Impact, because that's not who it is. But I'm telling you, man, it is so worth the watch. I literally can't even recommend it enough. Like, I literally don't even want to say the ending, because it's, like, literally, that is the best part of the whole movie. Like, bro, I'm not gonna even lie, bro. Like, the mother, bro, like, all right, I'll be honest. The little sister died. I'll be honest. The little sister died. So the brother was feeling guilty about it because it was kind of his fault, to be honest. You know, throughout the rest of the movie, he's kind of like grieving over it. He doesn't want to come to terms with it. So in the middle of the night, right, he wakes up to a clicking sound, and he's like, Charlie? And you know, it's like the camera is like like it's close up to his face like this. The way this whole scene works, bro, it is literally a one-shot scene for like a straight 12 minutes, and it zooms out of his face. He gets up from the bed, and the camera's still looking at him, and he looks around the room. The way this camera angles, it shows the corner of his room, like on the top ceiling in the wall. Bro, his fucking mom is like spidered onto the corner of the fucking wall, and he doesn't fucking notice it. That is the creepiest shit I have ever seen in a movie, bro. Keep in mind, I think the next creepiest shit that even comes close is Annabelle Creation, where the chick gets stuck in the barn and we actually see the body of the demon. That shit was so fucking scary. And then when he like tried to look into the corner because he thought he heard something, like, let's say I look this way, right? On this side of the screen, he was slowly turning, and while he was turning, the mom was just crawling onto the wall outside of the door. That shit was fucking scary as fuck. I mean, it kind of looked goofy, but like, bro, you gotta realize that shit is scary IRL. Like, imagine somebody doing that. Hell no. So then, this is one long continuous scene to where like it turns out like it was a whole cult set up. You know, they're actually using the son as a sacrifice. Keep in mind, I'm explaining this terribly, so you're actually gonna have to watch the movie if you find any of this interesting. It turned out to be a whole cult thing. You know, before the whole scene happened, the mom was like, hey, you have to burn this book. I used it as kind of like a connection way to the daughter, so I could communicate with her. You have to burn it, because if I do it, I'm a die and burn, because it's linked to me. And he was like, okay, fine. So he threw it in. Actually, no, I think the mom threw it in, and the husband died. I was like, what the fuck? And then that's when it just snapped. She just turned into the fucking spirit or king, whatever it was. And then apparently she let the whole cult in. So like in that ending, like the whole like last 20 minutes of the movie or 15 minutes of the movie, the guy's trying to like walk through the house to find out where everybody is, because he's like, mom, dad. And while he's walking through these hallways, this movie is one of those where like you kind of have to pay attention to the background more than you do the actual like center of the screen. So he's walking through some of these areas of his household, and he has a big ass foyer that connects to his like living room, his hallway. So he walks, and he has this like I don't even know what to call it, but it's another like ceiling corner, and his mom is posted up there. He hears a creak in the wood, so he's like, so when he turns around, right, let me give you some context. So when the little sister was at the funeral for the grandma, there was this fucking creepy ass old guy, dog, creepy as fuck, because all he was doing was staring at the little kid and just smiling. I was like, okay, that definitely rings some alarms. But the thing is, we don't see him for the rest of the movie. But then, in that scene, when the brother turns around, he looks at the door leading to his kitchen. When he turns around, it's that fucking smiling guy, butt-ass naked. And then, that's when he was like,
strange image on the command HUD. Is that
Like, he was sitting just like that. Obviously, you know, it was in the same corner as the mom and shit, but she moved, right? So when he looked, it was just quiet for like 30 seconds. He was just staring at him, and then all of a sudden, he just started sprinting because the mom started sprinting at him. Bro, it was fucking insane. I think he trapped himself inside of the attic. That was like the only place to go. And in the attic, like, it was even more naked people from the cult, and he didn't get to see them, but they were there. It was like 3 naked people with black eyes, bro. It was, dog, I'm not gonna lie, that was a good movie. It was so good. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm kind of just over here getting these amorphous materials. I don't even have it linked, actually. I don't even know how much I have. But yeah, I'm over here just getting these amorphous materials. I mean, I'm barely even running these missions because, I mean, it's easy, bro. I mean, if you actually need more than like 1 or 2 people to do these missions, it's kind of crazy. Unless you're just lazy like me. I kind of just let these people run it while I kind of provide them with ammo, I should say. I don't really AFK. All right, I'm playing Enzo for crying out loud. So I at least give him a little turret buddy and some ammo. So, all right, excuse myself. I have been grinding all day. But yeah, just getting these. I really just want that cowl stabilizer because I'm pretty sure the code is going to be easy to get as far as I'm concerned. I don't really think it's too much of an issue. Like, let's see. Yeah, like, dude, come on. These are probably, what, like 6% drop rates? It'll be easy. It's going to be like every other fucking grind. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.